Tell the truth, nice and loud, go. That's right, and you would have lost heavily. And the reason I tell you that is really simple. When we talk about innovation, when we talk about breakthroughs, sometimes the littlest thing is the biggest thing. The littlest thing. By the way, being first is not enough anymore either. You can be first, and then Apple comes along and takes it from you afterwards, right? Being first is not it. There was a company called Vimeo that was first in the marketplace doing what now most of you think YouTube does. In fact, if you looked at it back then, we saw Vimeo and you saw YouTube, 2-year difference between them. I know Chad, who created YouTube, brilliant guy, and what he did was really good. What I teach, he modeled them. He saw what they did and he modeled them. If you looked at them visually back then, they looked very, very similar. They did the exact same thing. But one was sold for $1.65 billion a couple of years later, and the big, big difference. What was the difference? Look at them. Visually look pretty much the same. Someone tell me, what was the $1.65 billion difference? No, they uploaded the same way. Speed, they had the same speed. In fact, Vimeo was a little bit faster. They had a little bit more efficiency in the beginning. Somebody just said it. You must know the story, sir. There were, look it up, put it up on the screen there. There was 1 share button versus 9 share buttons on YouTube. Somebody said, the more you ask and you shall what? Receive. If we ask enough times, they'll share. But when people share, you get that geometric multiplied effect that we all understand now. That difference is the difference between 2 large companies, one of which is kind of nice, but is dwarfed by YouTube, and the other which went on to become the basis of where most people put their time and their energy for a lot of people for creation. So I want you to get that if you and I are going to go to a different level, all you got to understand is it isn't beyond your reach. It's beyond your reach if you're low energy. It's beyond your reach if you're unresourceful. It's beyond your reach if your ego tells you you're so smart. We need to put our smarts aside and use them with enough emotion and connection to say, how can I add more value? That's where the game really changes. Who's with me on this? Say, I. Now, so that comes down to then how do we really make sure that we succeed? Then how do we get this resourcefulness in our companies?